Houston Humane Society is dealing with an overwhelming number of animals staying at their shelters and has reached capacity. Some animals are having to share a kennel with one another. Macy Stays is joining us now to talk about the dire need and what people can do to get involved. As always, good morning, Macy. Thank you so much for coming on.
Good morning. Thanks so much for having us.
Yeah, we really appreciate your time this morning. You know, I feel like in some ways having this conversation, it's like beating a dead horse, because so often we're finding shelters across the country are in this situation every few weeks. It's just heartbreaking.
Yeah, I mean, we're seeing an oversurplus of unwanted or unhoused pets that we have never seen before on this scale.
Wow.
And everyone in Houston and in the south of Texas really is trying their best to keep up and to do what we can.
Talk to us about how many animals the shelter has currently staying there.
So that's a really hard number. I can give you a roundabout number, but that capacity is ever changing, and we're so thankful for that because of our fosters.
Yeah.
Our fosters who are willing to take in 6 puppies at one time, or 2 adult dogs that we know get along. You know, that is ever changing. But right now, you know, it's hard to say. I would say somewhere around 550 to 700 animals, just depending on who got adopted over the weekend.
It is really heartbreaking, and I know that might sound cliche or overused, but truly it is. It's devastating. We talk about how, you know, some of these pets are forced to double up in cages, kennels.
Yeah.
How else does this impact the work it is that you do when your shelter is over capacity?
It's really heartbreaking to know that just because we're at capacity, the need doesn't stop. And so that's why we really need fosters and adopters to step up at this time. If you have ever thought about adding a furry family member to your pack, now is the time. Come down and see us. We're at 14700 Amita Road, right down the street from NRG Stadium before you hit Shadow Creek. We have a behavior team and a wonderful team of adoption counselors who will help you find your perfect match. And, you know, that is needed now more than ever, because we want to continue to say yes to all of these cases of these animals that are in need constantly. Just because we don't have kennel space doesn't mean that the need stops. And I think that's the hardest thing.
Yeah. Yesterday I was in Northeast Harris County. I had to go to a Lowe's, and in the parking lot at the south end of the parking lot, there were 3 SUVs, families, selling puppies. And as you know, that's illegal here in Harris County. And I think it might be one of the only counties in the state where that is illegal. Maybe Dallas, I'm not sure any counties up there, but I know for sure in at least the Houston metro area, it's illegal in Harris County. And so I called the Harris County non-emergency line, and they said they would dispatch the closest unit when that unit is available. But you know, it's really, there's not a win-win situation in a situation like that. You have a family who clearly is trying to do what they can to get by. And that is, you know, selling these dogs, which is illegal. But then you have these puppies that are forced into conditions that are not healthy. And so what happens? And I was told that they issue a citation, and then likely they'll just pack up shop, they'll pay the ticket and then move. But what do you want people to know? This really truly takes a community. And I'm only telling this backstory because, you know, everywhere you turn, there's a situation. What do you want people to know this morning?
I want people to know that fostering isn't as daunting as it seems. I think that a lot of people think that when they pick up a foster, they have to keep that animal until they're adopted or there's another plan. And that's the beauty of community, like you were saying. And I do believe, you know, every dog needs a home, and I don't believe in shaming people for how they acquire their animals. But I do think that as a community, we have a responsibility at this point to fix the problem we have created. And the only way we can do that is by educating. And so I'd love to take this time to say, you know, it is illegal, like Zach said, it is illegal to sell puppies in Harris County, and it is not a lifetime commitment to foster. I know that you are hearing me sit here and say we're full, nobody's adopting. So why would you come foster if you don't have the capacity for another full-time family member? That's because our sense of community at Houston Humane Society goes above and beyond what we call standardized rules for animal welfare. We do have an amazing group of people who will work with you. If you can only keep an animal for a week or for 2 weeks, that's absolutely fine. That's 2 weeks that they get out of the stresses of the shelter. And don't get me wrong, we have a lot of great enrichment opportunities for these animals. They're able to be in play group daily. They get enrichment items, they get treats, they get walked by our volunteers. But being in a kennel that's the size of maybe your walk-in shower, excuse me, and just being taken out for those activities and brought back to the loud environment of those kennels, that's no life for a dog. And we really hope that you'll consider even 24 hours out is a huge benefit for their mental health, and it helps us get to know who they are so we can match them appropriately.
Macy Stays, as always, thank you very much. If you can't adopt, you can foster. If you can't foster, you can donate. So thank you for your time this morning. We appreciate it.